Okay, so we are going to get into how to schedule the worship practices. We're going to, once logged in, we're going to go to what is event and attendance. So I'm going to go through kind of like how to like set the first one so you'll know for maybe you want to create like a special rehearsal that's going to take place. And you can also, I'm also going to go through and show how you can duplicate those or clone that event. So we're going to go and we're going to choose event and attendance on um, August 12th. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the 12th here. And I'm going to go ahead and call it worship practice. And then once I've gone in here, worship practice, I am going to make sure this is on the church calendar itself. I will want to publish this event. And then it's not an all day event. So we're going to start at like 6. We're going to start at 6 p.m. and we're going to go to 7:30, right? Typical fashion. So, and then location, main sanctuary, where it's going to take place. And this is where you can put additional notes, but I really wouldn't worry about it. I mean, that's what's going to appear like if you were to click on it in church track on the calendar, like when the whole church can see it, it'll have that there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to options. In options here, we're going to do attendance and check-in. And so I'm going to do select group. And I am going to select just worship team. Now, you see everything gets selected. But I'm going to deselect this because what I've actually done is I've added everybody to the worship team, including the sound crew. They have all been added to worship team. So if we ever want to send like an email out, some sort of alert, some sort of information to just the worship team, boom, done. This is also used then for attendance purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and have that clicked, and I'm going to say apply selection. And so if I actually click on it, you will see right away, boom, everybody on the worship team is there. Okay. This can also be used for taking attendance as well during worship session. And I believe, let me see here. No, I was gonna say I thought this is not where it's at, but I'm pretty sure I've marked both Brandy and Rod to be able to do attendance um, as well. So I'm going to close that out now. I am going to now go back to. We're going to find the worship practice. I'm going to open this back up again. No, correction. I'm going to go to it on the calendar event where it's at. Now, I'm also going to go over to options here, and I want to use this event for worship planning. Okay, the thing about the worship planning is right now it's just as an event, and you can take attendance with events, but that's all you can do. If I make this as a worship planning, then I'm able to schedule who attends. So I'm going to make this who needs to be there, right? And notifications and all. So, do you want to enable the worship planning for this event? Once enabled, you will be able to use the worship screens. So, in other words, I'm getting that 1 second here. So, yes, I've chose to do that. So, um, to go to that portion dealing with the worship section, we're going to go to the worship and scheduling. So now I'm going to go and find worship practice. Once I clicked on worship practice, now I got to, this is where I can, if we want to make an outline and say, hey, we're going to work on 4 songs and put those 4 songs in there, you can do that there under worship layout. So if I wanted to add, and this is service items, but say we just want to add, like, we're going to do Amazing Grace, we're going to do Breathe, and then we're going to do Chainbreaker and Champion. Okay, let's say we want to do that. Boom. Then I can add those two here. So these are the songs we plan on using. they'll also then be able to view the PDFs. If I click on this, when later on they'll be able to go to the different resources and view the lyrics and the chords. They can be able to do that. If you want to change the key that we're going to be doing it in, you can change the key. And if you're going to decide who is going to be leading that song, you can put that in there. This is also good for like if you know how long the song is going to take. It helps with like planning for the service itself, right? As well. Okay. So that would be if you want to add boom songs in here, and uh, and then whoever's leading it will appear off to the side. And then so let me go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead. I think I'm just going to remove from outline. Remove this song from this service, or replace this song with another song. So we're just going to remove it from the service. Ditto. So if you want to put in songs that you want to be working on, that way they're previewed to them ahead of time. Boom, that's what that would do in the worship outline, and by adding service items. Okay. Scheduling roles. So now I'm going to schedule roles. Yes, we were like, wait, you just did that a second ago. Well, we didn't really schedule the roles. That is solely for attendance purposes. Scheduling roles, we're going to add people into the roles. So now I'm going to do click on show all teams. And now I'm going to click on worship team. And this, if you notice here, so this is everybody that was on the worship team. Then if you go down further, worship team leaders, right? So Rod, Pastor Dan, Scott, as it was previously, and then who's able to play piano, um, vocals, etc. Right? Guitars, drums, and bass. You know, so that way, whenever it comes time for, we'll also schedule in here who is doing sound for like a service, right? But since right now we are just doing practice and we want all parties to be involved, we're just going to go ahead and select everybody. And then if someone can't be there for whatever reason, they can let you know their availability, and that'll happen here in a second. Yes, sound guys are in there as well. So add names, they have all been added to the practice, right? Um, and this is like if you were like to schedule an actual rehearsal, you would choose like a date. So, like, say for example, we're having a service and we're going to do rehearsal um, ahead of time. So, like, if you say this is Sunday morning worship, right? On the 10th, and we're going to schedule worship to be like 8:30 to 9, or whatever it is for the run through. You can then select that there, and you can put that time in there, and you can even label this, morning worship rehearsal or run through, right? That's what we're gonna do. Basically, do a run and you can schedule that time, whatever it needs to be. Right now, this is 8:30 to 9:25. That's what it was at, and then set location, main sanctuary. But anyways, so I'm not going to add that in there. But we've scheduled the people who we want to attend, and so when we're all said and done with that here, we'll come down here and hit send scheduled invites. So this will invite everybody to go um, to be here for the worship practice, right? I'm not going to hit it because right now it's 12:30 in the morning, and I don't think anybody wants to be getting alerts sent to them at this point in time. We do have the Twilio set up for the text messaging for them here, and we also have the new app now that is available for them to verify. And I will start sharing that this week, and I will show you how easy it is to be able to share that with others. There's a special code that goes to it, but yes, so that's going to be taking place as well. And so that is it as far as scheduling this. So let's pretend that this has been invites have been sent out, right? Now I can go back to the calendar, event and attendance, right? And now I can click on the 12th and I can say, go to options and say clone event. And I can do so, create a copy of this event on what date? Oh, well, the next practice that we have, if we do the bi-weekly practice, will be the 26th. Add that in there, include attendance group. So we want to always include attendance group, include worship planning schedule. So use songs, use placeholders, no roles, use roles. So we can use roles because at this point in time, it is everybody is in there, right? And then worship songs, if we had worship songs, I could put them in there. You can then go back and just edit those, really, all honesty. But the thing is, here we're going to basically duplicate this event. So now I'm going to go add event. And you can do this up, you can create the 5 copies, right? Ahead of time. So you can schedule 5 rehearsals out. So I'll go ahead and add event. And then there you see it. It's on the 26th, right? The next time we're going to have worship practice then will be on the 9th. So I can go ahead here, options, clone event. And it's going to end up being on 9/9. Move it out to then. Create a copy of this event on 9/9. Now we don't want to create any additional copies. Include attendance and include worship. Again, use roles, use songs. There's no songs right now. Add this event. So I've gone ahead and as you can see, we have the 26th. And then if I go out to September 9th, then we have September 9th. So then if we go over to the worship schedule, see what we got going on here. So we're going to do what would be the worship practice on the 26th. Schedule and roles. Look, everybody's in there. Yay! The only thing at that point in time, you come in here and you can add songs into it from that standpoint. So that can be done. Side by side. Let's see if I can do this here real quick. Sunday morning worship. So, all right. So is this the case? This week is the 10th. So you got worship, Rod and Randy. All right. Welcome, Pastor Dan, Rod. Excellent. So you guys have this in here. It looks like you're not inviting anybody else to be there with you. Unless you have. Let's see. Let me check. We got roles in here. Here's the worship team. Ah, look, you guys have accepted already. You guys are amazing. And Rod, I'm glad to see you running sound as well. If we need to change this, you can remember. Oh, stop. I'm not sure who you plan on having actually do the sound, but we can change this. So if I go up at the top, I can do add people or roles, and then I can go to what would be show all, go to worship team. Then I can come down and say, I don't know who's going to be doing sound. Maybe it is, I don't think it's Vince. I don't think it's Tom. Maybe you have Jay doing it. You can click and then add the name. And when you add the name, I think then at that point you can send that out. I don't know if that's who you plan on having or not. So That's what you can do is you can go and then it would add him in here, and then you'd be able to click on Rod, and then you'd be able to delete Rod, and it'll be like, do you want to delete him? I think forever, or just from this role this week, and you can do so that way there. So, it's interesting to see if anybody else had utilized this yet, but no, I think these have already been put in here a long time. Send schedule invite, so I can send out to the rest of the people. But yes, so there you go. You got that figured out, or maybe Pastor Dan did that. But basically, what you're going to do then is um, when it comes to the worship, you would select people to fill these spots, right? And if you need to have more vocals, you can be able to, again, like I just showed you a second ago, for adding more of the sound guys. I'm just going to go worship team and then go down to vocals. And then, if you're adding Skyla or Emily or Lisa, Scott, whoever, you just click on them and then add that person. And then I'll add them into that field as well. And then they would then appear down here. So yes, that is that. And that's how that goes. So I think I'm going to stop right there. I think that makes sense. I think you might understand. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to reach out to me. Let me know. You can shoot me a text. Um, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, all that fun stuff. All righty. Thanks.